Gun fam, what's up? It's the Gun Brother. Thank you for tuning in. And whether or not you have ever had a Glock switch or anything like that, or even seen one, it's about to affect you if you live in the state of Maryland. Let's talk about it. All right, so I'm sure you've heard of Glock switches and that they can be added to Glocks fairly easily to make them fully automatic. And I'm sure you know that Maryland has the worst laws in the country. Well, we're kind of middle of the road. We can have more than some, but we can't have it all like we should be able to. Of course, Maryland seems to do their best to try to keep up with Massachusetts and make their laws as difficult as they possibly can. But we have the introduction of House Bill 1287. And what it is a slight modification of Section 4-301, which if you're into firearms in Maryland, you're very familiar with. And they've added a few lines, and this is to combat Glock switches. All right, so House Bill 1287, got it pulled up. We're just gonna go through it. What Section 4301 does for us as Marylanders, pretty much gives us all our definitions of all the stuff that we can't have. And it gives us the test for what we can have. So most of that, or all of that, is unchanged for the most part. This stuff is just added again to combat Glock switches. So first off, by repealing and reenacting with amendments, Article of Criminal Law, Section 4-301. Here we go. So, and I've highlighted the additions. So like I said, all of this stuff is the same. Definitions of assault long gun, assault pistols, all the particular brands that they consider banned, and any copycats of those. Then we get into binary trigger systems, bump stocks, burst trigger systems, all of which are forbidden, okay? And then here's the first highlight. So, convertible pistol. What? A convertible pistol? Get your pistol and drop the top? No. I'm sorry, that was terrible. Convertible pistol means any semi-automatic pistol that can be converted into a machine gun solely by the attachment of a switch or an auto sear. Now, one of the problems with this is the Glock switch is a catchy name. Auto sears are nothing new. Been around forever. They just hit the media, hit the streets, blew up. So that's why we are having this issue. So that's number one, convertible pistol, new definition. Okay, so that's added into here. Then, those are our tests for rifles and what we can have and how it can be configured and stuff like that. Then we go into detachable magazine definitions, flash suppressor, hellfire trigger, blah, blah, blah. And then we get down to O. And O defines a switch or an auto sear. And that means a device that applies force to a firearm's trigger bar to prevent it from limiting the weapon to firing only one round each time the trigger is depressed. And that's all an auto sear does. That's all the Glock switch does. As a matter of fact, the Glock 18 operates exactly that way. The switch is on the side of the 18. You turn the switch, that pushes a tab down, that depresses the trigger bar, or the crucible, I think they call it, and keeps it down so that the gun can fire fully automatic. So the problem with that design is that's the basic design for just about every striker-fired pistol. And that's what leads us to this last highlight, which says, a person may not manufacture, sell, offer for sale, purchase, receive, or transfer a convertible pistol. Truth be told, like I just said, that is pretty much every striker-fired pistol. Just about every one can have an auto sear developed for it and attached to it fairly easily. So if this was to pass, you would not be able to purchase basically anything. We only could have 1911s, which some people would say that's not a bad thing. But anyway, like I said, Maryland just tries so hard to keep up with Massachusetts, California, and New York, I guess. But now, the thing about this bill, it's in its early stages. It's not even close to being passed, but it's out there. And that, as you can see those implications are very, very far reaching and would, quite frankly, just suck. So This is the part where people say, well, what can I do about it? And for most causes, people say, oh, write letters, call your congressman, call your senator, do all of this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But the thing about 2A stuff is really tricky. And this is where I advise people to look up and join some sort of gun rights group for your area or one of the bigger nationwide ones. So just a couple of organizations off the top of my head, Maryland Shall Issue, Firearms Policy Coalition. Of course, you got the NRA, you got NAGA, National African American Gun Association. There's a ton of organizations out there that will make it easier for you to fight for your 2A rights and have your voice heard. I just encourage you to look them up, do your own research, find a nationwide one and then find one in your jurisdiction because they'll be more attuned to the laws that could be affecting you immediately and help you bring those cases to bear or make those issues heard. They make it easy. If you have to do a petition, they'll usually put it together. If you have to write letters, they'll write the letter for you. All you have to do is sign it at the bottom and make it happen. They also fight the legal battles. Just about every case that's in court right now is alongside one of these types of organizations. So I always say, you know, if 2A is your thing and you want to fight for your 2A rights but don't quite know how, find a 2A advocate organization in your jurisdiction and become a member and become educated on just how they try to take your gun rights. So if you guys know of any organizations in your jurisdictions that fight for your 2A rights, put it down in the comments. Make sure you list your jurisdiction so people can people know what jurisdiction that they operate in, and then they can become members. And with that being said, Gun Brothers out. I will talk to you guys soon.